Some First Nations leaders say they are cautiously optimistic after a summit with Prime Minister Mark Carney, but there were plenty of concerns raised over Ottawa's new law to fast-track major national projects. CTV National News reporter Jeremie Charron has been covering this for us. Joins us again this morning. So, Jeremie, what's the big takeaway from that summit yesterday?
Yeah, look, Kent, there was some skepticism going in. Many had concerns and frustrations, and many of those still exist. But we're hearing from some chiefs who are carefully optimistic about the prospects of, continuing forward here and being able to work together with the government on these big projects of national interest and the use of this new bill that would fast track some of these projects that are deemed of national interest. We know that going into yesterday's meeting, and you and I talked about it, there was some pressure. Many felt as though they had not been consulted with adequately, that consultation was not taking place until yesterday, and they felt it was something that should have happened prior to the meeting. What we've heard is that at some point throughout the meeting yesterday, the official agenda, if you will, was somewhat abandoned to allow for more chiefs and more leaders to have their voices heard and speak up. And that was a welcome experience for many of them who felt as though perhaps through part of the day, the agenda was not quite what they were expecting or what they wanted, and that they were not getting the opportunity to speak up as they had hoped. And so what we've heard is that, as you touched on, many are now skeptically optimistic about moving forward. They still have concerns about this bill and the powers that it gives the government, but they are hopeful that federal officials will continue to consult with Indigenous communities, in this case First Nations leaders who were there yesterday, and that they will be involved every step of the way, not only in deciding which projects might make sense or ensuring that Indigenous communities' priorities are being met, that land is being respected through this process, but also that they could be involved in the development of some of these projects in some cases when it makes sense. That is something I heard a lot from some of the Indigenous leaders I spoke with yesterday, some of the chiefs I spoke with. They want to make sure that their communities are prospering from these projects as well, and that when a big project gets built in their backyard, it is not going to be only contracts from external companies and other people benefiting from the work that is going to have to be done. There are a lot of people in these communities, Indigenous people, that are happy to be doing this work and would like to be doing this work, but sometimes feel as though they're not given the opportunity. So it's not just about being consulted. It's not just about having these conversations, Kent. A lot of the chiefs, a lot of the leaders are keen on ensuring that Indigenous workers are involved in these projects and that their communities can take part in some of these big projects that could help the country.
Okay. We'll see what happens going forward. Jeremie, thank you.
Anytime.